property is transferred, you have the power to evict the occupiers of the property.
Okay.
So that court process might take around 2 to 3 months if it's not, heavily litigated. If it's litigated, then it could drag more than that.
Okay, Sharon, just to get some input from your side, what will happen if, let's say, they don't want to get removed and you need to go into litigation and fight it out in court? What will be their valid reason that this particular eviction notice to be disputed?
Okay.
Sharon, Sarmila, anyone? Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to share an experience. I handled an auction matter where the occupiers in the property was a tenant. All right, this tenant claimed that they had interest in the property. Okay, so using soft approach did not work, because when my client paid the balance purchase price, immediately my advice to my client is, under the proclamation of sale, you are able to now obtain vacant possession. All right, so you can go into the property. So they know that there's a tenant there. They knew, they did their background check, but they just didn't know what is the extent of the tenant's interest in the property. So the tenant has been staying there for 10 over years with a child. So husband, wife, and a child staying there, child going to school there, very comfortable. So what are the chances of them leaving the property? Zero, because they are so comfortable there, right? So what happened was, my client tried negotiating with them, asking them, okay, never mind, let's sign a tenancy agreement. And the tenant says, why should I sign a tenancy agreement with you? I have paid to the previous owner under an agreement. So they showed my client an agreement. There was an agreement entered, all right, with this tenant. And actually, it was an outstanding payment owing between both parties, and they contract it off with the property. But the saddest thing was, there was no transfer being done under the tenant's name. So the tenant thought everything okay, I'll just stay there, not knowing the owner did not pay the housing loan, and it went through auction. So my client went to court, and the court actually took an approach. They were in favor of the tenant. They studied all the agreement, and they saw a valid reason for allowing the tenant to be there. So my client bought the property 30% below market value. All right. So cash buyer. All right. Cash buyer, she paid cash, but she's not able to now get into the property. So it was a loss on her part. She has paid money to the bank, balance purchase price paid to the bank. So she couldn't get the property because there was a valid reason for this couple and the child to be in the property. So that was something very we were all taken aback, because we always thought that once you pay balance purchase price, you are the beneficial owner. Your name may not be registered yet, but you are the beneficial owner under the proclamation of sale. But if there is a tenant there and you have paid money, but you do not have the property with you, you can't hold the property yet. So that is something very.
So how long? Just to interrupt you, sorry.
2.5 years.
Oh, given without rental.
2.5 years, no rental. So it was a 30% below market value. My client is an investor, so she didn't. Yes, she was upset. She tried all efforts. She spoke to him. She tried selling the property to him, thinking that he could pay her something. But the court ruled that he actually has all the right to be in that property, because he had actually paid so much for the property in other means under another separate agreement with the owner. So, so what the court told my client is, maybe you may want to speak to the previous owner and see if the owner, the bank has got any excess money to be refunded back to the owner. yeah, so my client approached the owner. So that was another issue they had, but my client was at a loss lah.